Hey, cheers everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are back. Okay, so took a break and we are back again. Wonderful. So I hope all of you are doing good, staying safe, staying indoor, and more importantly, taking care of your health and of your loved ones as well. Okay, so a few days back, I did a poll on my LinkedIn that you guys need a detailed study for roadmaps for certifications or like open source communities, and majorly all of you choose that we want a detailed roadmap for the certification. So I thought of that certification is going to be a quite broader term. So let's try to break it into the parts. And here we thought of getting started with the cloud certification. So I was discussing a lot with my team that what we should do, how we should plan this certification. And when I was discussing about the names, that how should I do it, should I take help from somebody else, and trust me, today the guest who we have was the single name that we collaboratively decided that he could be the right individual because he has been working in the industry. He's an experienced executive holding Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platforms, or I should say Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, Alibaba Cloud Certification. He has a very good technical background, effectively delivering the integrated IT solutions and cloud consultancies, along with a genuine passion for technology, communications, and sales. Because we at Cheers with Gaurav has always stand for one thing, that if you are an individual who has done the authentic studies, who has the practical implementation experience, and more importantly, if you are the one who can qualify the lead, who can do the system analysis, who are good in understanding the marketing and auxiliary operational skill sets, you are the right fit to guide us or to mentor us. And for that, I reached out to an individual named Chirag Nayyar, who is going to be with us in a few seconds. He works as a solution architect for data analytics at Cloud Kinetics Singapore, and more importantly, as a techno hobbyist, he speaks at a various cloud events and meetups to share his learnings, his experience, and deliver a path to adopt cloud for everyone. He has also contributed and reviewing more than 5 books on the cloud platform by Packet Publishing, and I guess what not. Let's discuss from him as well that what he thinks that why the cloud computing or cloud is now new terms, and what are the various certifications that are available for beginners, for professionals, for experienced fellows, and more importantly, let's try to dig him that why he choose to be a cloud expert as well. Hey Chirag, welcome. Cheers, and thank you
Hey,
so much
thank
for
you. Thank you,
coming over
Gaurav,
here.
for this invitation. And I'm pretty much excited about this because as I took a break for a few months and now doing a comeback and talking and interacting with the community and all the folks, sharing whatever I have learned, even the new learning curve for me in last 6 to 7 months. And it's like always a pleasure. Really, I would like to say thank you. And I am following you from last, I believe, more than a year now, and I see the level of motivation, the spark which you generate, especially in our student community. It is really good. You are bringing the expert from the different vertical industry on the platform and sharing the best of best. I'm pretty sure not now, maybe near future and down the line, it will be helpful for the current generation as well as the coming generation. I would like to always share my thoughts around whatever learned I have so far, what kind of what I can say the problem statements or issues which I followed or I face, and how I'm trying to overcome and how I'm trying to improve myself on a daily basis. Really, really appreciate to you and your entire team, and kudos. And yeah, I think we can
Thank
start
you
about.
so much, Chirag, for those wonderful words. So, guys, this is not the scripted ones. He genuinely likes that. Just on that lighter note, no problem. It's just the community support that I am getting. The people like you who inspires me and motivates me to do good and bring out what the best I have. So let's divert from this like interactions, and let's get on a topic, Chirag. So when was the first time you realized that cloud is something that you can follow for long?
Okay, that's like a always near to my heart because it is something I would like to tackle from from the student life, because when I interacted with the cloud, it is back in 2012, and in my college they have some kind of a collaboration with Microsoft. Nowadays I see there are much bigger program going. People are part of Microsoft student partner or some kind of MSP program. I think those are much bigger, but there was program named BidSpark. Sorry, DreamSpark. DreamSpark was the program name, and my college was the participant. And under that, I got something like a package of learning as well as some credit and MSDN subscription, which is Microsoft Developer Network. You can download the MS SQL and all kind of things with the license provided. And there I found something known as Windows Azure. Okay, so just a sake of curiosity, maybe I'm coming from a background when we play Windows XP, and I love to install Windows XP maybe weekly basis. I don't know, that was something I love. At least I can say in my entire colony, like I installed Windows XP in everyone's house, and still, if you ask, I have memorized the one key, and it is still on my tips. If you were, yeah, RHKG 8 by W4W4 RHJG 83M4 by 7X9GW. That is a 25 digit key. Still, it is in my heart because I was like saying to the people, hey, it's a 20 minutes work without even seeing, I can type the Windows key. Right? So that was the Windows XP, and then Windows 7 came, 8.1 came, and then I suddenly said, it's a Windows. Maybe some Microsoft released some Windows Azure, because I finished my school and entering in my graduation.
Right.
So something hit in my mind that maybe some new Windows operating system came into picture and I need to try. I want to be a super cool, which we always want to be when we are in our student life or when we enter in our college. That yeah, I am a super top notch techie guy. So that was kind of a curiosity which landed me. Then I said, what is this Windows Azure? I have signed up because I was the part of this Dream Spark and I got $150 as a credit. But I'm not able to find that how to download Windows operating system. It is mentioned Windows Azure, but what to do? So there, because in that program there was a training and I just follow, then I understand something known as virtual machine is there, right? So from that area, like I can say a little bit of curiosity, and the another again the super cool stuff in came in mind. When I spin up the virtual machine, I see I have the most powerful internet access in my hand. If I compare it with my entire city, that at that time maybe having a 5 mbps is not a easy thing. It was like internet was a luxury 10 years back. Nowadays it's a necessity. We all have a 4G or 5G connection in our hand, and talking about 100 mbps it's just like a normal thing now. But 10 year back, when we talk about a 2G and 3G was introduced, having a 5 mbps of broadband with, at that time normal was 256 kbps or 512 is a big thing because it comes with a cost. And I was
Mhm.
playing, I was showing, putting a screenshot from the browser, that speedtest.net, that wow, I am a super cool guy. I have a power in my hand, but I don't know how to utilize the power. Okay, but just for the sake of social media stuff, so I was too much into social media. I have a very big presence of Facebook and Insta at those days. I was putting, oh guys, in my village, I'm enjoying 10 Mbps easily. Have you ever experienced? Just as a my kiddish moment, like my childhood moments, right? So, but slowly while learning, I came across like this is something which is doing maybe the work which was in the world of hardware setting up an infrastructure take weeks and days, but on cloud it is just a matter of clicks. So in entire my college life I was exploring learning, because that as a program I was a part. So I think it was valid for 3 years, so I have a 36 months of credits, and I was sharing, learning, and in that regard, I learned to something known as virtualization. And then I understand in my internship something that's configuring a switch is a damn, what I can say, tough task. Then configuring a network on cloud, and then I got introduced with something known as software defined everything, or software defined data center, software defined storage, networking. So it was a learning curve, but as I was working in the academics, I have still no, at that time, no experience around the industry, what is the actually value proposition. But I was like always excited that I am the cloud guy in my entire batch, that everyone is talking about the programming language, doing this kind of internship or training, and I am talking about a cloud. And then I explore the AWS, because when we talk about the Amazon, at that time, first thing came in mind is the bookstore and e-commerce, because I think at that time it got released in India also, like Amazon.in for the e-commerce part. And then compute engine, something I found from GCP side, that was in beta at that time, back in 2013 and 2014. So I'm very much early into the GCP world, and then entire 2 3 year of exploration. Then I made my mind, because when we reach to the final year, we need to take a call what we want to
Yes.
do. Are I am like it's again an individual decision, I can say. One is, we always everyone see the surrounding. Nowadays, internet is the most powerful thing we all have in our hand, regardless of student age. Even I think in the school days now, having a powerful mobile phone or internet is a common thing. So
Yeah.
so that is where, like, it was a big struggle for me what I really want to do. And I was very clear, I don't want to be a programmer. I'm coming from a computer science background, my graduation is in computer science, but I have decided that that is not a cup of tea for me. Then what else I need to do is, I'm good in configuring the physical switch. I did an internship in one of a big org, and I got an opportunity to visit a very big data center, and there I see the wires, and then I lost. Oh man, I can't have a screwdriver here and fit the thing. Sorry. Then that's what my mind thought that, oh wow, if this wire will be connected wrongly, then the entire system gonna burst, and I will be the in the blame game. So okay, networking also not cup of tea. Then what should I do? Then again, okay, cloud. That is where the little bit of technical. I just try to think where the market going. Okay, and then I start doing, you can say, appearing in my last semester, that for a job, that what kind of market job availability will be there. And meanwhile, even I started doing freelancing. I have done enough freelancing on Fiverr.com. I have paused my profile since I joined the full-time job. So still the profile is live. I have done, I believe, 100 plus small jobs in my final year. And then meanwhile, searching and building my own practice, that yes, I can talk with at least the customer who is really going to pay me the hard cash to build my own bread and butter. So you need to then use your that communication mindset, that how you are going to communicate, how you are going to negotiate. Then maybe the last portion, the technical part will come, how you are going to communicate the right technical things, so that the understanding will be clear, and what and how you are going to deliver. After that, you will only get paid. So it was a early age quick learning curve for me. Then I said, yes, I need to explore the market, and I made my mind. So I'm from the northern part of country, and then I traveled across the country. I spent time in nowadays Gurugram or Gurgaon, and then I moved to Bangalore searching a job. And as a fresher, here now comes the sweet part. While in this span, I have completed almost 5 to 6 certification. I think I have a very early days of GCP certification. Most of the people have never heard till date that there was something those that was the official GCP certification. And when the Microsoft released their first Azure certification, that was in beta, I was the part of that, and I was able to crack, because I have a full of theoretical knowledge. And with that, I okay, furnish my beautiful resume, that putting some logos of Microsoft Azure, GCP, that, and I gave myself as a title of cloud architect without having experience, just on putting my resume as a freelancer, cloud architect. And then I went in the market, and yeah, there some different reality came into picture, that I was, because in over it is something like I went to couple of placement fair, like in colleges have. What I did, again, the sake of curiosity, being a student, I took a hard copy laminated printout of my certificate.
Certification.
After that resume, I present my file, GCP certified, Azure certified, then my resume, then my degree. That other people are saying, oh wow, who is this guy? But at the end, while doing the technical round, I interacted with the one guy. He came from a very big organization, and he started his own startup. He took my interview. I think that was a very key turning point for me, because I was just hunting and I was talking. Oh, cloud is this, auto scaling. I am an admin guy. I know Linux. I can do this. I can do that. Like, I want this job. I don't want a programming job. But there was a turning point. This guy, I met him in Gurgaon, and he gave me, because he is coming from a pure system administrative background. He's having experience and he handled one of the large infrastructure in our country. Like he worked for such companies. So he asked me a simple question. Okay, you are talking about a cloud. I totally understand there is something auto scaling and all these things are getting sorted with the value proposition of cloud. But two questions. One, who is going to bear the cost of this auto scaling? Because nothing comes free, whether it is a what I can say OPEX model rather than the capital expenditure or CAPEX. But who is going to bear the cost? And second, can you do the optimization of Apache web server or the application server? Then I heard the word something known as JBoss. I believe you are much aware because it's a part of, I think, your maybe daily routine. I have no idea. I was blank. I said, okay, Apache, I know how to install sudo apt-get install Apache 2. That's it. That's the max I know, and I'm becoming super cool. Right? But yeah, he said, have you really opened the config file in your life? And there is something, maybe something there. I was no idea. I had no idea. And then he said, okay, now tell me who is going to, you are saying, okay, you can scale from a one instance to the thousand instance. Can you tell me who is going to bear this 999 instance cost? Even it will run for maybe a one hour, because at that time per second billing was not there. Minimum 1 hour billing concept was there, and I was totally blank. I was not able to justify. Then, like while having a coffee, then I like kind of a give up that sorry, I am not able to understand even answer. And I was just showing that I'm a certified guy. I'm doing this. I have a like a cool badges on my resume, but at the end, I have zero experience of this thing, like the industry, because I only understand the upper layer, which is cloud, but I have no understanding because Apache is not a new thing. Maybe I think 2 to 3 decade old, and maybe the application server, be it a WebSphere or JBoss, these are the very famous in the world, maybe 10 to 15 years old, or maybe much more than that. So, but it gave me a click point because I was going back in bus from Delhi to my hometown, and I was thinking the entire night that it's like a shame for me, or why I'm fail, or I have no idea. It was a long process. I was fighting inside me. Then I took a break. I thought I really need to know the things, forgot about a cloud and certification, know about what I want. That is where like I start exploring about a Linux and all these things. And I buy my own domain. That is still date. Like I am surprised. Some people ask me, like my email ID is my first name at the rate my first name last name.com. That is a very common, and that I can say that is the biggest investment I have done in my life about my career. It's been almost 6 7 years about this thing, and I learned, and then I tried to build the basic. Again, as I mentioned, I'm not a programmer. I don't want to be, but where there is a will, there is a way. So but I can say the projects like open source project like WordPress come into picture. We don't need to write a code, but we can build whatever we want. I am not a UI UX guy, but it gave me the power to understand how the request handling from a DNS to the end to end DB level, and how the return response is going, how I can trace this, where the monitoring come into picture, what is the power of real optimization at a OS level as well as the application layer as well as the DB layer, and how this front end we call it as a load balancing SSL. So it took me I think couple of months. I was like so what I can say so hurted by that interview that I thought, no, I will not apply anywhere, even I'm going to complete my graduation. So from the completing graduation, it took me 4 months to reach at my first joining. And the current organization is my first organization, and almost 4.5 year I am in this organization, and a different career journey for me. So I'm pretty much like coming from getting that kind of, you can say, uh, kind of a, no, I don't say in a negative word, but it's something like it hurt me that the guy took an interview and he clearly said, you don't know anything, don't show me this paper, there is a no value of these paper. Okay, and while then this 4 months I have prepared myself, and I have presented, I have made my own blog, and understand again the core why this is required, what are the difference between even a different kind of storages, and different networking thing, what is the private public network and all those things. Because one thing, at that time cloud was not too feature rich or too mature. Yes, AWS was there, Microsoft was there, but still the feature richness which maybe in 2018-19 the students start exploring, that was not there. That was a, maybe if you heard in some trainings, or especially the people who are online now, the classic, always the word classic or the previous, like the classic VPC, and we don't have access. And in the world of GCP, there was a time we can't even create a VPC. I'm learning from those days, and I got a GCP certification. Right. So really, I had no idea, but I put the effort. Then again, start exploring the job because the campus time already passed. I was not able to sit for the placement because it was very clear all the companies which will come, they gave a rule us, because as it is not expected that we know everything. And I made my mind in that final year that for me it's only cloud, otherwise nothing. And then I started exploring. I started joining the events. Especially, I see Satya Nadella in front of me in 2014. I remember 6th of November, 8th November was a Deepavali in 2014, 6th November, and NESCO. So I see Satya Nadella and Scott Guthrie in front of me. I hear the speech, and they announce that Azure is coming in India. And that was the first cloud provider which say, but it is again not for the public, for a big businesses. And after that, again the learning curve, then really I started exploring, and I failed again in many interviews. Few companies offered me, hey, maybe you first join as a Node.js developer or Python. After 3 months we will evaluate. If we got a project of cloud, we will put you in that. But as I mentioned, that my will was strong. I didn't took those. I, maybe you can say, it was my decision that I also rejected. It's not one is a need and want. I try to figure out that decision. What is my need? What is my want? In that regard, my parents was the most supportive, because once you can say entire batch got a placement and you are sitting without job at home, it's a peer pressure, guys, and that is a true for, I think, till date everyone, regardless of where we belong from, where which province. So it was a different pressure I am also tackling. And I can tell you, 2 months I have not stepped out from my house, and I have a big beard. Right, I was sitting always in my room studying, watching lot of tutorials, trying to do, because the credits was with me, and I was just enjoying. And the trials of GCP gave $500 even extra credit on those days. If you sign up, and you will get 800 $800, which is more than enough. And I started exploring day in day out, watching. And I paid for getting a training from CBT Nugget. That was really, really awesome. I can say nowadays there are many training provider there, but if you never heard CBT Nuggets, it's like a 2 decade old organization. And I can say the world best trainers, or you can say godfather from those industry verticals, was presenting the course, and it gave me enough boost, the clarification of my basics, that I was able to present. And then few interviews, and I think that was my 11th interview. I'm able to crack, and I accept the offer, and I moved to Calcutta, which is the eastern part of India, and there I started my journey. Yeah, I will take a break.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No, no. What I can summarize up for everybody is that first one, if you have a doubt or if you think there is a question bumping your head that should I do this or not, because I can easily correlate to this story because when I was graduating in 2016, everybody of my batch was still focusing on Java, C, C++. When I have decided in my second year that I'm not going to do the programming because I was getting a backlogs and I'm not going to do it all, so I was strictly into the Linux, cloud, DevOps, and these data analytics and many other stuff. So I have cleared my mind that I'm going to do it. But still, after 2016, you rightly said that society's pressure, parents, and everybody started expecting you that you are going to get the job because you are doing the certifications, you are putting the logos on your resume. But eventually, when you step out in the market, reality becomes totally different because you don't have the experience. You were learning the things and you were just putting it on the exam scenario and you cracked it. That's all, nothing else than that. But what the practical experience? You rightly brought out a point that have you ever opened a Apache configuration file? So similar sort of a thing happened that I was a Reddit certified architect. I went for a very small interview and somebody asked me, what is the value of your certificates if I cannot get money out of it? And that's point, he was an MBA and he runs a very big firm in Jaipur. And
Okay.
I was shocked that really I haven't thought in this way that I should be getting something in return. What is the ROI? What is that experience I'm getting? And then the whole thing started. I found out my passion, and that's where you also said that when you hit bottom of your the things that you have been loving to do, what is your want and need. And that's where the real struggle starts, between your wants, between your needs, what you love to do and what you want to do. And
Exactly.
that's where you take that decision and be firm to that decision, that yes, now I'm gonna stick to it and I'm gonna do it, let's say 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, but the results will be great. And
Yes.
thank you so much, Chirag, for sharing up that journey. And I guess one question, I guess everybody would be keen to hear that when you started your journey, definitely Microsoft, Amazon, and Google, these three are the big names till now, and even in way back in 2012 or 14, I should say. But how about the new generations of cloud that we are able to see, like Alibaba, Oracle is stepping into the certification world, and it is since ages. But yes, Alibaba is the new, and all these cloud vendors who are giving the certification. Even if we talk about Red Hat OpenStack is there, where we are talking about NFEs, the private cloud offerings, and very new offerings from the traditional certifications like Google, Microsoft, and Amazon are coming. How to take that part up?
Okay, it's like a chicken and egg problem, I can say, because the market is now competitive. So maybe a little bit adding in my journey when I started the journey in India, it was a very new days because AWS launched in June 28, 2016. I remember because I was the part of AWS Summit in Mumbai. Okay, and Azure was there, but again, it was not like they were not too much big into the market. But it start cooking the market. Like I see the entire journey. I can say I proudly say I want to share this, that I am the witness. I see the entire cloud wave happen in our country, where I see the rejections from the customers because I joined as a sales guy again, being as a computer science, because of like I have done freelancing and I love to talk with people. I want to present, and I put an effort to strong my core. And the important part is talking with the customer, seeing the problem statement. That is the most important than talking about a technology. And I see the people who rejected, they are saying there is a no value of cloud. Oh, we are not thinking, it's not secure. Like some kind of, you can say, the statement was there. And I can say now we all are the part of that generation. The biggest benchmarks are created in our country by utilizing cloud. I don't want to say the names. I think most of the people heard the stories and case studies are there. But I see those journeys, and I am lucky enough that I was a part of different customer success stories in my career with the support from my senior, the leadership, as well as the peers, and not to forget the communities. Communities plays the major role. That is why I am always thankful that whatever I am today. So I will come to the community part down the line because there is the important message I want to deliver in that regard. So the people who are saying no, and I see the same people are saying yes in 2018 and 19. So in that 3 year of span, I see the entire country wave from the northern part. You can say, yeah, Bangalore and all these areas considered as a IT hub, but everywhere it started. I spent time in Calcutta. I moved to Mumbai. I spent almost 13 to 14 months in Mumbai. I worked there and I traveled like for the events in Bangalore. And I'm from the northern part, so I understand the bit of market from the northern provinces. So the entire country got like be it a one cloud, and slowly because the competition is there, business is not only that okay today not on premises then only one cloud. If there is a one cloud, the another cloud is there, what is the value proposition and what is the third cloud or fourth cloud? The same with it is the ever changing thing. That is where the entire value of cloud, like I can give you a very simple example. We buy a laptop, it's a one time investment, whether we pay in installment or not, that is a different, but we buy it for let's say 3 to 5 year kind of, or maybe 2 to 3 year kind of a what I can say lifetime, sorry, what I can say, it's duration, like that I will use this laptop. If today I'm going to spend 100,000 rupees, it will work for 2 to 3 year. But how the processor market is changing, I think previously if you learn, I think we all come across in physics, or it's a very Moore's law, that the things are getting double in the and the time of that generation is getting half. I don't know the exact statement, but previously every year the processor is coming. Nowadays, every half year the new processor is coming with maybe Intel from the client side. We talk about the I series, some seventh generation nowadays. I believe 10th generation is working, and the same kind of thing is in the server space, right? So the same for the business, getting the processor on a yearly basis. It's not possible because it need a upfront or capital investment. That is where the value proposition of cloud, we heard every year in their big announcement, or on their annual event, they announce a new series of instances is coming. What it is giving, a very short maybe time, or maybe it may happen the planned downtime, you can migrate from the older processor to the newer processor. And mostly I noticed that the price is little bit less, maybe a 1 cent different can be a big for any organization, depend upon their cloud footprint. So without doing any investment, you are getting the more powerful. It may be 5% more powerful than the previous generation, or 50%. That depend upon that how they are going to present, what kind of benchmarks are there. But that is where the value of cloud. And now talking about the new cloud providers, because all these cloud providers, they have done the things for their businesses at a scale which every company, or maybe not in the position to scale, or the business line of business is different, because every company is having a different vision. So cloud is giving the benchmarks that this is a proven technology with all the required industry compliances, the security mechanism and ease to use. But it comes with a maybe a complex costing mechanism. I will maybe touch on that part also when we little bit go into the certification. So that is where each and every cloud provider has, again, 2 years back, a different value proposition, but somehow, it's my personal opinion again, somehow most of the things are at a same layer. It's all about how you are going to present and how you are going to, you can say, adopt for your business requirement. That is where
Right.
learning a new cloud, and maybe there maybe another player come in, maybe go. I can tell you, few player came also, and they even, what I can say, they ever shut down their business, taking a name of VMware. Maybe most of the people never heard that VMware has their own public cloud offering. It was known as VMware Air. Maybe you can search if there is some documentation. HP come into picture. I think HP Helion, they are providing. I sign up for all these, like getting a $300 credit, because I always try to explore. I always want a free virtual machine, simple thing to run my web server, because as a student and as a very newbie, my pocket were not allowing. Simple, there is no shyness on this. So I was always looking at freebies, right? So player came, player gone also. Maybe new player will come into picture. Keep the eyes on that area. But one thing is, core is same. Core means foundation is still same. Networking is the same networking which we talk about a 4 decade, or whenever the IP4 is getting written, and when we see the RFC 1918 documents, and however, like the what I can say, the norms getting written, got written 3 to 4 decade. I don't know the exact date, whether in 60s or 70s, but still we are following the same IPv6 in the market in from 20 years, but still IPv4 is the mainstream. Be it any cloud, that will be there. You need to know a little bit, maybe terminology will be here and there, but the technical concept and the logic will be same. The same with the storage part. We are using the HDD storage, SSD, now NVMe, flash. There are many more will maybe come into picture. And so, but the storage is storage. You need to know the difference. What is the meaning of IOPS? Whether we have our hard disk in our, let's say, 15-year-old computer on which Windows XP running, IOPS may be required that also. But at that time, we were not aware, because it's just our, we are playing GTA, right? We all play GTA in our time, in our those days. So we were worried, oh, GTA San Andreas need more RAM and more, because it is like the graphics started getting broken and some graphic card will start putting. So we all coming from that age. But now that is where the core is there. It now, one important answer I want to, like a thought I want to share, depend upon where you situated and in which organization you are going to work, the vision may be different, and that is where you can opt for any cloud platform. And each and every cloud platform giving a certification, just touching a certification is for the world, knowledge is for ourselves. Keep remember that part. I always love to see, like when I got 1,000 like or 500 like, it like, oh wow, I'm doing something. But If I do everything without putting a effort, without having the clear conceptual knowledge, it will not add any value. And that is the same thing I did as I shared my early days journey. I have a GCP certification and Azure certification. The code is 70-533. Very rare, like very few people at that time, at least in our country. But yeah, I was just enjoying that I am a certified guy very rarely. But I was not able to leverage because my core was not strong. I have really no idea how to leverage.
Right.
Then, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, please, please.
Yeah, so when I joined the company, I started my career. There was like I started from the business essentials and technical essentials of AWS because my company focus was AWS. I was joined as a part of AWS team. So then that is where like it took me some time to really understand. And the first time when I appeared for AWS SA Associate, I was totally like in fear before submitting. I took entire 2 hours to I think yeah, no, not 2 hours. I think at that time 80 or 90 minutes somewhere. I forgot, maybe yeah, 80 or 90 minutes or some that much time allotted. And I took the entire time and it was fear, but yeah, I got passed. And then again, the new kid becoming over enthusiast, I tried AWS SA Pro, which is considered as one of the toughest exams
Yes.
in IT, and I was brutally failed. And I was because I was just following training and said, "Oh, I know this, that. Now I'm doing job, so I have enough confidence." And it broke my confidence, guys. And then till 2018, mid of 2018, I have not touched a single certification. I have completed almost 1.5 year of my career, but I forgot that I said no. Enough of this play time, enough of social media time. Let's do the real work. And then I come into picture, and after that, yeah, now I got failed last week. Even I got failed in an exam. So but a confidence, it started building my confidence that yeah, how to convert that whatever my daily work into the imagination, because I feel imagination is much bigger than knowledge, because we can imagine beyond the knowledge and to clarify, to make a strong core, then to explore and got that knowledge to feel ourselves or make ourselves confident.
आई गेस आपने बहुत एक रेलिवेंट पॉइंट जनरेट किया है कि लाइक इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द कोर इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड द फाउंडेशन द बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक्स दैट cloud is cloud no matter what which vendor you are getting. You rightly said that my job is to get the VM. मुझे access मिलना चाहिए मेरी machine का, बाकी I don't care. Whosoever is maintaining, let them maintain it. Networking remains the same. Storage role will be to either has a block storage, file storage, or I should say for just keeping the data. Nothing else than that. That remains the same. You just have to understand the foundation that is the most important. Now you learn it via Amazon or you learn it via Google, Microsoft, Alibaba, Oracle. Things won't change. Just the nomenclature will get changed, and you can get habitual of it once you start working on it.
Exactly.
So taking to the another part, and definitely for all the viewers, please feel free to drop your questions. We'll get started with the Q&A in another few minutes. Now, important part, Chirag, which I believe majorly my audience in general are coming out of the students and the professional mix world.
Yeah.
I want you to please share or throw some lights that being a fresher, you have, I believe, every myth is clear that being a fresher, what to do and what not to do for the certification. But still, if somebody wants to get start their certification journey, at least to get the initial level of a motivation or a satisfaction that I know something, what all certifications you recommend them that okay, you can go ahead with these certifications?
Okay. Sure. So this is I can say this question is getting tougher and tougher nowadays. Okay, because there are a lot of things available in market, and for the student always, because as I mentioned, everyone is connected. We are seeing, and maybe our mind get influenced that if some of my classmate, batchmate is doing, why shouldn't I? Right. So why should I stop myself? Uh,
Right.
I'm going to talk from a student perspective, and please, it's like again my own opinion, my own learning, nothing to here and there. For till third year, even till seventh semester, I suggest please don't think about any certification at this point of time, because if you think that you want to build your career in cloud, please don't try to burn your time, because any certification you need to spend time. I know there are some other ways going. People send me some messages on LinkedIn, you have some kind of a material, or someone on my behalf pass the certification for me without checking my profile or knowing like what actually I need. So that's a different set of problem, let's not tackle that. But don't try to waste your time. That is for me, because I have wasted my time. That is why I'm using the word waste. Wasting the time till 7 semester, please don't do, even if you are getting something in free. Because I know since last year this is kind of a trend. The basic level certification are getting free of cost. It is something you can say, the term is demand and supply chain, or demand generation and supply. Okay, but it is, the quality is getting compromised. Trust me guys, that is a true situation here. And I have what I can say, very uh, my own heart is feeling the same pain, that why the people are doing this. I am trying to share like what I have done even 5 years ago, because we all are passing, we all are passing through the same phase of life. I have maybe passed through 5 year ago, maybe Gaurav also passed maybe 3 4 year ago. Someone you are maybe in final year now, or someone, it may happen you are in first year, you just started journey and you just started, oh some senior is doing and I got a free voucher, I need to do, wow. But trust me, it will not add any value. Okay, there is a value of certification only and only if you know what you actually want to do. First, your decision need to be strong. What you actually want to do. You want to be a programmer. You want to be a system admin. You want to be a DBA. You want to be a, don't, okay, go with the fancy titles like a DevOps architect or SA architect. It comes with a few years of experience. I am
Yes.
telling you, getting a title is one thing, delivering the real work and doing the job is a different, the real story. Let's
Completely.
talk about the real world. Taking a title of CTO or CEO doesn't mean that I become a CEO or CTO or decision making like some famous leaders. Title is one thing I respect, but don't put your mindset in that way that, oh some company is offering with some cool title, so you are doing, let's say for 7 semester, you are doing something today. Important question again, what you want, need versus want, prioritize.
Yes.
Many things there. I'm still an old school guy. I can show my notebook. I have a stack of notebook. Even I have an iPad and pencil. But still, sometimes I follow my old notes, because I love to write, because I think it make my memory muscle something, right? So try to write, to analyze, sit yourself. Maybe that is where meditate or something. That's what you actually want to do. Take advice, but if you always just say taking advice from a 100 people and 1,000 people, but not taking the final call, what you want to do, that will be the problematic situation. Take yourself like what really interests you. Market is there. I can tell you, market is there for those people who are doing C++ till date, and I believe they are getting much highly paid than whatever the newer technology. That is also kind of a stories there in the market. So if you
Right.
say, oh, C++ is a 3 to 4 decade old, it doesn't like that. Market is there for the language like Rust, right? Some functional programming language is there, right? So, and the newer programming, yes, the adoption is there because maybe it's from the performance, for maybe some new feature richness. Again, there is a no disrespect of any technology. That is, keep remember, there is, every technology is invented to solve some problem. It's up to individual one what he or she wants to do. Take a call, take a time, take a break from your maybe social life, something. Maybe you can take a decision in a day. It may take a week, it may take a month. Everyone have its own different set of scenarios and situation. No, we are no one to say that, oh
Absolutely.
I took in one day, you took in a half day because I am guiding you. No, that maybe I am not in that favor. So what you want to do, it's still 7 semester, you really need to decide. Now after that, every cloud is giving, not every, again, yeah, I think every, now in I'm taking the context of 5 major cloud provider. GCP is coming with some kind of a fundamental level certification, most probably by June and July, because the beta is already released. So maybe I will share a screen just maybe for 2 3 minutes to
Sure.
just share around this area.
and even people feel free to drop your questions, what you want to get
Yes.
guidance. We are going to talk about a bit of community practices, best practices, and something
Okay.
related to job, because I can see few questions lined up. But here is the screen that you
Okay,
all can.
so yeah.
Yes.
So this is the AWS. Why AWS? Because AWS is like one of the oldest cloud provider and they have a feature richness, depth, and because of them, I can say the cloud certification become a very famous and they set a benchmark because previously other cloud provider doing in a some different way, but now all the cloud providers come into offering the role-based certification for students first, second, third year. Please don't burn your time because time is the most important thing we all have. Maybe you will get a something from some free voucher or maybe you are willing to spend, but still I suggest not to do. So foundational certification is a cloud practitioner, that is one to start. Don't even think to go at this level because until unless you will not get a job, you will not clear with your role. This because cloud is ever changing game, like on a weekly, on a daily basis we are getting update, but exams are not. Maybe whatever you study today, it will not be relevant for down the line even 6 months, until unless core will be there but service enhancements are getting feature richness on a daily or a weekly basis. So don't try to spend time in this area. Just think about a fundamental level. Only when you're really strong fundamental around networking, compute, and storage. The same is Microsoft is offering. So anyone can search AWS certification, Microsoft certification. So you all guys will land on these pages, and here you can see Microsoft Azure fundamental, 365 is their SaaS suite, and some Power Platforms fundamental is there. So you can start from Azure fundamental in your eighth semester, the final, because if you work really to build your strong foundation on till seventh semester, then these exam will be much easy. There is just idea because it will be cover from every aspect, from the infra, from little bit of development, not again the development question, but a development, maybe what kind of DB options are there. So you will get just a flavor, just a gist, not anything, no expertise, but just you can see to show that yeah, you have put efforts to learn something. And the same with Oracle also. Oracle is having their own track. There is something foundation level is there. You can follow it. And Alibaba is also offering the same kind of thing. ACA Compute Associate, which is I have also completed this. It's a fundamental level. So you can explore this. And GCP is coming with something known as Digital Cloud Leader. Most probably, as I mentioned, by July or August this year, it will be out only for 8th semester people. And then Linux Foundation is there. Some Linux Foundation basic certification are there. Something known as, let me find if it is here, LFCA.
LFCSA.
Yes. So it's like a very basic certification. I just released a review, exam review, because I sat for this exam. It's a very basic level. Why I'm saying the fundamental level, it is just giving the confidence that how the exam pattern is. At the end, I'm telling you, this will not give you short job as well as short 100% knowledge, but to building the confidence because we are coming from an academic background to the professional career, and there is no the teacher and student relationship going that you will get a one bonus or what is this, some kind of a grace marks. There is no grace mark concept in such exams. It is just for building the confidence. So otherwise there is a no point to do this, and this will not add any value if the fundamentals are not clear. So with that I would like to stop the sharing, and I would like to share, if you want to be a developer, bake something, hobby project. As I mentioned, buying a domain name nowadays is much cheaper than I think the MACD meal, right? I think we have a MACD meal. I understand the current situation, but yeah, we have a MACD meal maybe twice or thrice in a month or weekend every time we go out. Not only MACD but whatever your favorite cuisine is. So domain name is much cheaper than this nowadays, and I think everyone can spend on that. That one domain name can give you a many much opportunity to understand, because if you understand this scale, multiply it to with 1,000 or two or 50,000 or 100,000 can be much easier, because if you really learn from this scale, like the fundamental part, and make the hobby project, make your profile, for your own. Still, the value of domain name is much higher than the other social profiles. Trust me, guys. I'm taking interview. I will always see if anyone is having a cool dude 1999 at the rate gmail.com. That's yeah. I understand the fresher is not maybe not entered into industry, but having a good email ID which looks really a professional that maybe belongs to your name with some digit, it's okay rather than this cool funky dude or maybe Angel Priya. Okay. Just for,
Broke the bones.
yeah. No, try to do, but because yeah, in my interviews, I mostly like I can say 70 to 80% interviews, the people got stuck with my email ID and they said, "Oh, so you own your domain. Tell me about DNS." And forgot about the programming and this coming to the DNS. Without DNS, there is no internet because DNS is something for our human beings to remember. Maybe we can't remember all the IP address space, but DNS. But how the DNS is getting resolute, we are connected with the internet. So networking is that is where the most important. So try to invest in that. Maybe everyone, if you want to be a developer, but you can learn. That is where the 80-20 principle come into picture. 80% is the development focus, 20% maybe know about the Linux or Windows operating system, know about bit of networking, know about the storage, different classes of storage. That is where your fundamental of cloud coverage will be there. And then maybe in that 20% know about the billing mechanism, because it's a simple maths. I can tell you, if you know addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, the cloud pricing is there. There is no value, or rather than the uses of derivation and integration, which I believe M3 and all those subjects we are tackled if we are coming from a computer computer science background, or even any subject. I think if anyone is dealing with the math, everyone has afraid, oh, what is this integration chapter and theorems. If you know addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, you are at a best place, believe me.
Right.
So try to do from that angle, make one hobby project. That is where the till seventh, it's not always to be a very cool project, but the project which you can explain end to end, whether it's a simple static HTML page or some static site generator, but can you explain that how you are making sure it is secure, how someone is not going to do maybe some kind of a attack. There are many things which can happen even on a static content. Can you know tell me that DNS flood or DNS spoofing, or I think something on DNS poisoning, how you can make sure this will not work? Where you are hosting your domain, how the name server working? That is even for a developer also it may important somehow, because when the growth will started, not every time the entire developer will stay in development, but maybe he or she becomes some kind of a lead. That is where the experience and growth will come into picture. So if you're that foundation one in small project will will be strong, I think whatever we learn as a really strong foundation, that will remain always with us. Other things will come and go depend upon in which kind of role we are performing our job. That is the like my strategy, because I can't learn everything. I can't it's like a learning, unlearning, relearning. That is where the enhancement is happening. I started from a sales, talking even with the people, doing the presentation and having the proper dress up. That is also an important part. And then
Yes.
how you are going to present, how you are going to listen the question rather than just converting into the technical situation and just answer, oh man, we can just increase the server size and problem solve. No one bother about that, I'm telling you. It may
Half
add
of
up
the
value, but
people
not
don't
a
understand. Sorry, half of
yeah.
the people don't even understand that people outside there are much smarter than you. Something related, I guess you can easily relate to this word called guerrilla marketing.
Yes,
That
yes,
people will give you something free because they want you to be there.
yes.
They know that you are going to react on this situation. I was recently going through this ad of Cred talking about Rahul Dravid's anger.
Okay.
Right, he was into the traffic. I didn't watch the complete, but yes, I could understand being into the pre-sales role that Cred came out with the role that nobody was expecting Rahul Dravid with such an anger perspective, right? But they were knowing that you are going to react on this part. So if you have something that people already know that you are going to react, and being in the student life, everybody knows how to grab the free credits. And that's where people start manipulating you or influence you, I should say, that they offer you something for free, you become addicted to it, and then
Yes.
ultimately you are left with no choices. And
Exactly.
that's where you fail in the fundamentals part, that you
Exactly.
don't work on your fundamentals, on your basics, and you lose the track. And thank you
Exactly.
so much, Jack, for clearing that part out.
Yes,
So
really.
let's
Now,
jump
just
on.
last
Yes, please.
touching the last
Mhm.
point. Yeah, communities are always important
Yes.
nowadays. Most of these are online. It really helped me to come into, you can say, in the front of people. I remember when I was in Mumbai, I presented in AWS office, AWS meetup or user group Mumbai, and then I got an opportunity to talk in DevFest Mumbai 2018, having a maybe 100 people in front of you. I was totally shivering. I was not able to even introduce myself, like, because yeah, I see a people, two to three or maybe five people whom I'm presenting in a job, but when the crowd is there and you're on stage, it really, like, kind of a hesitation we all have. Few people already overcome in very early days, few people still hesitate. It's okay, but we try to share. Don't think that you need to save everything in your memory or in your heart, but try to share whatever. Don't feel that you are going to fail or someone is going to say, oh, this is a very common thing or simple thing you made. At least you put a effort. Most of the people forgot to put effort because
Yes.
trying to get a shortcut. That is what our mindset is always. I am trying in my life, try to do many shortcut, but then most of the things I never got. But now I'm slowly following the step by step, you can, phase of my life. And in the same company, I got a different roles, or because of, like, I'm trying to do my best, I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to share. I mean, I'm trying to, you can say, educate my internal team. Even they are much senior than me, but I can share something which I found a good thing. So sharing is caring. Try to do it, will for sure help. And that is where, don't get manipulated by someone other's thought. Because if the 10 people is saying you need to do, make your thing strong, make your core strong. That you don't need to always have a disagreement with everyone, but yes, you need to take a decision, because you are the, you can say, owner of your own soul, right? So that is where, like, I believe, like, I'm driving myself, I'm trying to share. I lose my confidence also, some days it happen. That is where the break, taking a break is also important. I took a break and I now feel a good vibes, and I love to share, I love to talk. So, and that's where, like, I got an opportunity to come on this platform and share my views. So I
Yes,
think we are
absolutely correct.
open for, because, okay, from my side, I can talk about cloud days and weeks and even months. I'm a talkative in that regard, because that is my favorite topic. It's almost, I think, 9 years I am talking and dealing with the same thing. So I love to talk at a different angle. But regardless, saying this, let's take some
No,
questions.
that's the reason we have pinned your LinkedIn profile into the into the video description. So, guys, feel free to reach out to Chirag. He's quite open about sharing the thoughts, and that's the reason, Chirag, you are here, and that's the reason we invited you, requested you to do the detailed experience thought.
Right.
Because if I have to also go through the websites, I can also show them. But talking about the real value experience, you rightly mentioned that even you have gone through the same phase about 10 years back, I have gone through 4 years back, and people are still going and they will be having the same thoughts in their head. But we are not here to repeat the same mistake again and again, and
Exactly.
that one can only learn from the failures and from the experiences only.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
that's where, so thank you so much for sharing that lovely part. Now let's jump on to the few piled up questions with us. So
Sure.
Watson has a question: internships done at the good companies, what more to make a perfect cloud profile before graduating?
Okay, as I think I have answered, make your own profile, have an end-to-end own project. Maybe in that also you can, by the utilization of cloud, every layer is there. Now coming about the neo technology, utilize maybe some AI services. If you are a development, there are a free, so what I can say, the code available. Try to utilize. That is the power of open source world come into picture. Make your profile something like that, so that it can be presentable. Every project, let's say, any website, regardless of functionality, forget about the functionality for a few seconds. Website is a website, whether you made it or maybe some xnx organization made it, and they are getting maybe a billion hit a day, or you are getting maybe a 10 hit a day. The concept is same. It need to be something front ended. If it is a dynamic, it need to be backed by some database. Some middle layer will be there. The scalability part, that is where you will be able to understand. You can test the same scalability maybe with 1,000 users rather than waiting that, oh, you will be the part of a billion hit kind of a project where the heavy traffic. So internship done at a good company or bad company, I don't say there is a good and bad. It depends what, because joining the internship, no one is forcing you. As I mentioned, that you are the owner of your own soul, so because you are signing the paper before, because that is where your need and want come
Absolutely.
into picture. So you need to choose that what they are offering and what you want to do, whether you will get the same set of skills which is you are looking for your long term, what is your long term goal and short term goal. So making before a perfect cloud profile, there is, again, I don't think there is a perfect cloud profile, but having the strong foundation, just knowing that what are the different models or different layer of cloud, and in which layer, maybe knowing from the costing, knowing from the security, knowing from the adoption, talking not only about the near technology but thinking about if someone came with the scenario when you are in a live project, if someone say I have a mainframe computer, where you will move, where you can take me, or where for that organization or that person cloud journey will start. I believe that will be the most important part if you are able to figure it out in your student life, because internet is the most powerful thing. Do the research properly, not only social media but on your favorite search engine.
Absolutely correct. I hope Vatsal you got the part. Next up is the Kishore Kumar, who is congratulating you on GCP PCA. So his question revolves around how to get into pre-sales or customer engineering kind of a role.
Sure, thank you so much. And Kishore, I believe we are connected also. I interact with him before. It's good to see you. So, getting into pre sales again, two things. It's not only a one will, you need to find a right organization that who is really offer you a pre sales role, depend upon your existing experience. And your experience in pre-sales, it's not only the technology. As I mentioned, maybe technology will play a 20% part because you are not going to be into delivery. It's a day to day, you can say, the you need to get updates because you may handle a multiple projects. So you
Hmm.
need to build a technical core strong, plus the communication, the presentable way. The same thing for me. I have played pre-sales role, like I am into a pre-sale, but the title like solution architect. So I'm not doing the delivery part, but it's handling the customer, understanding the query. First of all, be the most important part is be a good listener. Let the customer finish the problem statement, and then don't on the fly propose the solution. Just understand the process, the probing part is most important. If you really apply for any pre-sales role, let's say I am going to take an interview, I will not ask about that how many technologies you know. I will only ask that how you will dig in the one situation to figure out the real problem statement for the customer, because no one is going to say that my database is having a problem, my application is having a problem. Everyone is having a best team, I respect everyone, but if we are collaboratively work for our with our customer, it's our job to asking a right set of questions rather than sending the 100 questions that then wait. No one is going to fill the 100 questionnaire for us. Writing asking a right question, that will only come if you've done across that some the technology part, and if you prepare your homework before going on a call with a customer. So getting into pre-sales is I can say it, anyone can, even from the fresher also, depend upon, as I mentioned, communication plays a major role here, and your thought process. It's not that you, yeah, the sales part will be there, that is where the pre-sales, but you need to that utilize your that 20% or 30% your tech power, that arm, to make the sales into the next level, that yes,
I guess,
customer is convinced.
yeah, I guess the Viva part in the interview is completely neglected when it comes to pre-sales. And you would totally agree that when it comes to pre-sales, you cannot go and form the cloud formations. कि भाई
Yeah.
मैं ये भी करवा दूंगा मैं वो भी करवा दूंगा. Customer की problem solve plus a long time relationship that you
Exactly.
have to create, and for that your communication along with your technical expertise, you
Yes.
cannot go out and fumble. मेरे ख्याल से वो नहीं है, and you point out right, yes, even you being as a fresher you can be considered, but how well versed you are on the basics and then how you can present that up, I guess that would be the thing. And Kishore, as you rightly said, Kishore is already connected with you, and he happens to be a big fan of yours, and so am I. So, cheers. So, Kishore, I hope you got the point. Another question coming from Abhishek. So, during our conversation, he just popped out this question that you mentioned about the fundamentals are the most required for the learning anything fancy or new. So, can you please suggest some good resources to learn that? So, toward the
Okay.
more practical implementations.
Sure, sure. So again, fundamental are important. You take any technology, okay? I can tell you in the when we talk about the production environment, most of the high level stacks are not getting that level of adoption where your the infra will come into picture. I can give you one example. It is not applicable on any specific industry and it is a very common globally. Nowadays what is the common people are running for ml and ai, right?
Yeah.
But all the companies or all the customer side they are having their team, and that is where they have their own data. They want to train everything from scratch. That is still true. That is where I can tell you in the cloud market, I just read a one, or maybe if you watch AWS reInvent keynote, and he shared that only 4% of entire IT is running on cloud. There is a room of 96%. That is where the value and more skilled people and jobs are getting generated in the cloud field. And talking about this ML, still people love their job. The people who are into the infrastructure management from last 10 years, they suddenly can't become the cloud guy because they are in their comfort. Their experience is much bigger than they will not too much bother about cloud. Yes, they will add the thing, but think about the company investment. They have someone invest $1 million to build their data center. So they will say, hey,
Right.
we have enough infrastructure, computation power, build, train our model here. So now training the model when the word of this clustering, data cleaning, all this technology is there, be it open source, be it proprietary or be it pre-trained APIs provided by all the cloud provider. But the season call, one thing people are most important. I think it's a still true somehow. I found people are still some people maybe I don't know how many percentage. Some people still have that myth. If the cloud got introduced in their organization, they will lose their job because one a person don't want to upskill so and so forth concern. Maybe someone have a personal concern. Let's not go into that. And second, I am comfortable. I am the best champ in my org to manage infra. I am managing it from 10 years. I know each and everything. Why someone will manage for me? So everyone has a situations there. So that is where fundamentals need to be there. Even doing the ML training, if you don't know how do the clustering, doing the clustering, how your networking need to be talk, internal communication with your one node to the another node. Be it even Kubernetes. What Kubernetes is, master and what is it, worker or slave nodes, from where it came. If you follow Hadoop in 2003, it is the same. There is a master node and worker node. Only terminology is here, but yeah, the goal achievement is different from a different technology, but the node and clustering is still same for most of the technology. And now
Right.
talking about the resources, just let me give
Mhm.
me a minute. YouTube is the best. You don't need to invest. Most of the training providers are giving some kind of a free. If you think most important part, I always recommend follow only single resource. Don't try to learn one thing from a 10 different resource. You are wasting your 10x time. Before that, if you put the 2x time about, you can say, whatever you're trying to learn, doing your homework, that what will be the best resource, that is where you can say the your own analysis skill came into picture. You have a 10 things, and each and every end goal is, let's say you're making something AWS fundamental certified or AWS cloud practitioner, but there are 10 different things. Now 10 different thing, why to spend 10x time to achieve only one thing? Try to figure out, maybe put some hours or put some days, figure out what will be the best. It's not that you need to watch everything. That is where the power of internet. Reviews are there. Maybe some people are reachable there. You can read lot of forums to figure it out. Maximum free resources are there, especially in the student life. I don't encourage to spend money like anything. Better you spend that money to build this, even your a good portfolio, having a domain, having your own email id. I have a tutorial, even I have a YouTube channel. I have showed that how you can get or host your custom email id, like chirag@chiragnayyar.com. That's my I'm using G Suite or Google Workspace, but again, it can happen in a free of cost. A 20-minute tutorial is there. You can watch, and maybe in the 21st minute, you have your email ID like Abhishek at the rate abhishekkumar.com if the domain is available. So, so try to build on that, spend in a right way, doing an investment in a right way, and doing the homework is the most important than following a 10 different thing. And towards the practical implementation, you can follow anything until okay, unless your fundamentals are not clear. So for fundamental, you just follow, build your own profile in the way, understand the DNS, try to do the auto scaling of this part even. Then you can follow some fancy project and implement and pull the code and do the things, and don't put yourself in a trap of getting free goodies.
I guess you just broke that part up. Free goodies. मैं यही दो point बोलने वाला था कि first of all, don't search that if I'll complete this course, I'm gonna get this goodie or a swag or a sticker or something,
Yes,
because
yes.
that's where you're not learning. You're just running behind the swags. Secondly, you can check out the video description of this video, this live, because there you will find a gentleman's YouTube channel named Chirag Nayyar. Every single thing is there regarding the cloud certification, his experience, his basics, his understanding. I do follow it when I want to do that certification. So go out there, at least clearing your and breaking your all internet myths will be all sorted. So Abhishek, do check that out. Thank you so much once again, Chirag, for lighting up that part. And I guess we were talking about the email IDs. Aman has put it down this question: any examples of good domain names and professional
Okay.
email IDs?
Okay, still I will say in the simple word .com is the best one. Okay, there are cool names. I can tell you I have done something like that. First year it will be cheaper. Second year it will be 3 to 5x of cost. Until unless you are not ready to burn the money in your pocket, you can find anything, but still not too much of. Okay, the purpose of domain, one is for the personal, one is for the community contribution. There was a time I owned the domain name awsmeetup.com, that was owned by me. You can check there. I think the history, domain history. So I want to, what I can say, I just make a static page, I want to contribute, but I have not renewed. Okay, and there is a domain name learncloudwith.me. It comes with a me. First year I got, I believe, in 599, and this time they are asking 3500. And maybe I have no long term vision for that domain. Why should I even spend 3500? So it is something, that is where the homework part. When you start searching for a domain, you will come across with a different idea. Maybe you will land to some different kind of a domain known as search engine optimization or search engine marketing. Some endless tools will be there. Then maybe getting the, what I can say, some kind of a ideas, it will give you a different kind of boost that you have put efforts. Because the efforts need to be at the end speak return on investment, ROI. And then when you really get that domain and feel that yes, this is what I am going to present going forward in publicly for the world, that is where you can say you will feel more confident to present to what actually your project is, what you are. As I mentioned, that cool dude and all those things, it may not work. It may work if you have some kind of a website or any application idea. Up to you, everyone has its own choice. So for the professionally, better I will suggest with your name. If it is not there, maybe don't put some fancy word. Maybe try to figure out in a different domain. If not .com, maybe .in can be there. But don't go to .org and all this, because it signifies a different thing. Like it will give a different message in the public world.
Right. So that makes more sense, Aman. I hope you got the part. So one question was there from Navneet, that what are the basics that freshers should target in the initial days? I guess we have been talking throughout this, Navneet. So you are the
I simply
consistent.
say networking. Start with networking. Even if you're a
Yeah.
developer, start with networking. Everyone has a mobile phone. Everyone has a 4G connection. Check even your mobile. There is a private IP there, and just ask why this private IP there.
Right. So raising your questions, Navneet, can solve a lot of problems for you.
Yes.
Harsh has a question that can anyone get jobs in domain cloud as a fresher? As I have seen the job related to cloud and DevOps mention certain experience in their requirements.
Exactly, a very good question, Harsh. Thanks for asking. It's the same situation I came across. Like at that time, even the cloud market was very small, and I made a mind that what kind of job. So that is where I said, like, the decision making, what you want to do. If you want to do the development, take Okay, important thing I think I forgot to share. Take cloud as a add-on. Don't think that cloud is the only one technology. It is the add-on to the fundamentals of IT. Just think from that angle. Decide, Harsh, you want to be developer, admin, or what? That is where you start building your profile. And again, homework. You want to join what kind of organization, big scale, small scale, startup, or you have maybe a plan for your own venture, what role you want to play. That is where it's your decision, it's your career, and your decision is the most important part. We all can just guide and add our experience and talks, but final decision will be yours. Job related, cloud related job is there. You need to figure out the right organization where the real need is and present yourself in the way. The developer, the admin, don't go with the fancy title of DevOps. Maybe you can have a theoretical knowledge, but DevOps is not only about a technology. There is a process understanding is required, which we will not get by sitting at home or by in our college days. That's like I feel. Maybe if someone is getting that experience, I really appreciate. But it is something, the people mindset, the organization change behavior, change management. Again, you are going to interacting with the people who are 10 year in that organization, and you suddenly say, hey, I am new guy, I am going to implement CI/CD pipeline, and from today the deployment will happen. Trust me, you will face the more resistance in your initial days, and it will break your confidence and you will feel the demotivation. Don't try to break the chain, be the part of chain, but fit there where you feel you are best. So yeah,
Right.
JDs are there. Even a fresher can get a good job, depend upon he or she how she is going to present.
Right. And I believe I also encounter this question a lot, that when it comes to cloud DevOps, you brought down this discussion in between when we were discussing that running behind the fancy titles. There is nothing like a DevOps architect. Means there are certain organizations who are utilizing this keyword, but if you understand, DevOps is a mindset. DevOps is not a tool to be get professionally trained on. It is a methodology that works behind. So if you know how to be open, how to speak, how to modularize the entire conversation, you are doing the same. It's just that fancy title that you are acclaiming. So don't run behind the titles, run behind the actual story that you want to run. And that's where you actually start questioning yourself. So
Exactly.
that absolutely makes sense. And Dave has just put it down, AWS Summit coming soon. That yes, even I am excited for the same. Cheers to open source and many other parts. Navneet has put it down one question talking about Docker and Kubernetes. Navneet, I have just posted a video a few days back. So we will talk about cloud, but you can do definitely check it out. And that I
Maybe
have talked about.
just to add, learn the virtualization first. What is the need of virtualization? That's it.
Yes. So we started even our discussion with the same. So that's the part. And Abhishek, I'm glad that you shared this part, that he was already running behind the goodies from Quick Labs. So got the lesson. And thank you so much. So thank you so much, Chirag, for enlightening us. And we even I give a big shout out to Abhishek to share this part in the live audience, because there I always says that acceptance is the biggest thing that you can give it to yourself, because if you can accept, I believe what best it could be. So
Really,
that's the
that
part.
will build the confidence. Like
Yes, yes, yes.
I come across the same situation. Now I failed. I can happily share. Sorry, right now maybe I'm not clear with this topic. Even maybe I need some kind of a lead time to prepare, and then only I can present. So
Right.
yeah,
Absolutely. So that's the part, and I believe we are already on the top of our. So, Chirag, before I say thanks to you, any words of wisdom for all the viewers who are watching right now and even going to watch it before or
okay,
afterwards when
sure,
we
sure.
get
The
to
one
this?
word I always say: fundamental matters. Don't put yourself that you are not from a tech background, especially from academics, and the other is from tech. Everyone is same because everyone has a power of internet. It's all up to everyone's effort. I agree, yes, someone maybe learn something maybe few months or years ahead than you, but don't try to compare yourself. It is just one by one, a step by step journey. Figure out what you want to do, and I believe the future will be bright. situations for each and everyone maybe or it will be different, but end goal, if you put, the focus will be there. Like simple, I can say there was a time I was not able to speak even like to introduce myself, and I feel so demotivated that others are going ahead and I am so behind, whether I will be able to survive or not. And it's almost, I believe, 10 to 12 years since I am out from my native place and I'm exploring a different part of country, and even I learned a different language. I understand even Bengali properly. I stayed there 1.5 year, so আমি তো বাংলা বুঝতে পারছি, right? So now I'm here, I'm trying to learn some here language, like the basic of the languages which is spoken here. So it's all up to, like, it's not only about a tech, but whatever you want to do, whatever your interest, apart from the profession, a personal growth is also required. Then you can obviously, I believe, feel, at least for yourself, you can cheer for yourself that yes, you are doing a good, and then sharing is caring. Try to share, maybe you guide your siblings, maybe nearby friends, maybe you can guide even a senior. If like if you feel that the senior is not going in a right path, you can. It's not always to do the agreement or saying a yes, but sometimes saying a no with the right justification may be much more helpful, and it will create a healthy relationship. So with that, stay safe, guys. That is the most important part. And stay healthy, take care of your family and yourself. Put a target date, maybe a long term and short term goal, and enjoy your journey. And feel free to correct with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chirag, for enlightening us with lot of myths and breaking all those theoretical part, and being already a certified professional. How you take the stand is definitely something that I get motivation from. So
Sure.
thank you so much for accepting the request on the behalf of entire Cheers with Gaurav team and all the viewers, and guiding us on this part. And for all the viewers, if you haven't subscribed the Chirag's YouTube channel, the link is in the description. Please go check it out for the awesome content on the certification. Also, if me and Chirag are not able to answer any of your questions, please feel free to drop any of the comments in the video, or even reach out to us individually on Twitter or on LinkedIn. We are more than happy to help. And again,
Sure.
thank you so much, Chirag. We have taken a lot of your time. Thank you so much. And before we leave, can I make a simple request to you?
Sure, sir.
Means definitely, I know that you have a very good and great fan following. It would be great, and it can make my day if you can ask our all the viewers and the people who follows you to like, share, and subscribe to Cheers with
Sure,
Gaurav as
sure.
well.
I
And
will. I will. I have posted, and I will post it the same video again with maybe a proper caption and some whatever we the discussion we have, and the I can
yes,
say a very important questions which came from the audience. It will be helpful. I will summarize and I will publish. Sure.
thank you so
Thank
much, Chirag, for being here. Such a nice talking to you once again. Hope to connect back again with the specific request. We'll talk on that
Sure.
later. And thank you
Sure.
so much for being here. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Chirag.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Gaurav,
you.
and
Take
thank
care.
you, everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you. For all the viewers, if you haven't checked out the content that I have posted, I'm coming out with some more interesting content on cloud, on certification, on DevOps. Comment down below what all content you want, and I'll be right there to create that part up. Do participate on the LinkedIn polls that I keep on posting for you, because that helps me to identify what all you need. And till then, next video, please stay safe, take care of your loved ones, take care of yourself. More importantly, try to be indoor. Don't try to step out until unless it is hardly required, because situation is not good at all. So try to keep your loved ones safe, try to keep yourself safe, try to do home remediations that are being suggested by the professionals. Don't try and misfool in the marketing fundas. So stay safe, keep learning, and as Chirag said, keep sharing the most important part. Be in the touch, reach out to me for any help specific you require, and I'll see you with another video. Thank you. Stay safe. Cheers with Gaurav, signing off. Bye bye.